Take two. Ring, ring, ring,
Oh,
ring.
all right, here we go. There was no technical difficulty to start this podcast. We'll look right past that.
At least we caught it really quick and didn't waste any of our good stuff on it.
Right, right. At least you didn't get into stories and you're like, we can't hear.
and then me trying to get you to tell the same story over again. You always tell it at about a third. You only include about a third what you did the first time.
Right,
You're
right.
just
Always.
you're just PowerPointing it. You know the bullet points.
Right, right, right. So what's
Well,
going on?
I'm here in like day 5 of a diet, so I'm over the cranky stage. You're probably in day 2, day 3.
I'm on day 3, and can I tell you, yet the first 2 days were fucking miserable.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was dying a couple times, but today I woke up. I feel like $1,000,000. I don't feel. I'm over it already.
A
I'm
new
good.
man,
I'm
huh?
in. I am in 3 days in.
Well, there we go. Not
Yeah.
not as torturous as you thought it would be.
No, but you know what? Me and you have done this so many times. I think we are pros at losing and gaining weight.
Yeah, we are definitely we could call ourselves a couple of yo-yos, just up and down, up and down.
Literally, literally a couple yo-yos. Yeah.
So yeah. And I think our bodies are used to going through the transitions at this point of
Right.
going from the shock of the shock of when we go back to eating bad, that first day or two, I think our guts can't handle it. But then
Right.
after that, but going back off all that stuff onto eating just, well, we do keto, so mostly just meat. That can be a tough adjustment for some people. I don't get the headaches. I don't get the flu, the keto flu that most people say they get.
Right. Yesterday I was grumpy and I had a bit of a headache, but it wasn't bad. I mean, I was fine by today.
The problem is here's the main problem is that when we're not holding ourselves accountable,
Right.
every moment where you even conceivably could be bored, you're up and you're grabbing something to eat, and you're not even paying attention to what you're eating. So then when you go to, like, especially as restrictive as a diet as
Yeah.
you and I are on now, there's
Right.
two problems. The first problem is that even if you're really hungry, it's limited to what you can snack on. So if you don't have your special foods, you fucked. But even if you do have your special foods, most of the time it involves cooking. It's not like, I don't keep a lot of like snacks in like snack
Yeah.
form. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
Right, right.
So either way, I'm adjusting to not. It's a mental thing about not eating every
It is mental. Totally mental.
every chance I can get. So.
Right, right.
I
Well,
did.
yeah, I feel good today. I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel
it
good.
was a little bit of a reality check when I got on that scale. I did not think I'd put that much on. I had totally, I got, what's the word? Gaslit myself? Catfish?
I am so glad.
Because I'm here now. I haven't had to snap or button anything around my waist in like months. So I had no idea. I might switch to suspenders at this point. Fuck it.
Just to hold up the pants.
Well, not that it's going anywhere now, but even then. So
This is true. This is true.
yeah.
Well, so I know you said you got a couple stories today. I hear. That's what you told me. You said you had some stories today.
No, I said you should come. It's your show, man.
I thought you said you had a couple stories.
No, I got nothing. Only thing I got is we could go over. We could before we get into like story time, because I assume you at least have one from earlier when I called you, because that sounded like it was getting dramatic. But
it was.
it was getting dramatic. But so we'll tease that one, so you have to stick to the end to hear it. Look how we're being professional and doing the right thing. And so I want to cover a few things from the weight loss competition we're doing, and I think like we've established that we did our weigh-ins, and I think we're gonna somewhere around May 1st, we'll iron out the details. We don't have to know today because that's like more than a month away. and we haven't figured out a penalty or anything like that. But we wanted to include people because you kept getting messages about people wanting to be part of the contest. And how can you be part of the contest without registering your weight?
I don't know. I guess here's my thing. Okay, I mean, and you tell me I'm wrong, whatever. I know you won't think I'm wrong, but like, I think there's a fear of accountability. I think there's a fear of. I mean, a weight is a number, right? Like, it's just a number. Like, what are you scared of? Is my question.
But
I don't understand that.
But like, see, you and I are used to humiliating ourselves publicly.
True.
Like, you have put spandex on and done it in front of rooms of hundreds of people, and I am not doing it with this podcast and stuff. So we're doing it for the benefit of ourselves. There's no reason to humiliate ourselves if it wasn't to be entertainment and for listens and clicks and downloads and all that shit, because we're trying to accomplish something here. But I wouldn't just out of the random blue want to post my weight, especially when I'm a fat fuck, because. Here's what, and this is how I understand and can relate to the people out there, is that there's two things that can happen. One, you're just blasting a ridiculous number that's like embarrassing.
Right.
It's embarrassing to be overweight, and it's embarrassing to be, significantly overweight. And then two is that if you do that, because you're announcing that you're trying to lose weight, there's no reason to just put your weight up there and go, just letting you guys know I'm a fat piece of shit. Bye. You know what I mean? There's obviously the reason is because you're going to benefit yourself. And now this is a great way. Now, I understand, like, you post it, you embarrass yourself. It's more motivation to lose the weight. But there's also that looming thing of I then don't lose the weight. And then I've outed myself. And now people know I'm also a failure and a lazy fuck, or I dropped the ball, or whatever. I didn't follow through. We have people that do that. We, there are wrestlers out there and others that we have mutual friends that have made asses of themselves. They're 400 pounds. They lost 50, and then you never hear a peep from them again after 3 gym pictures. So, there's more pictures of Lenny and Larry cookies than workout videos.
Oh, Lenny and Larry. Wow.
I got specific. So I get that. But you guys all clamored to want to be a part of this. And the only way to be a part of it is to, like, motivate. Like, I get it. It's embarrassing. But if it's that embarrassing, it means you need to lose the weight, which means maybe you need to hold yourself accountable publicly, which means this would be a great motivational tool for you. I understand if you don't want to do it also, or if you want to just, pretend like you're going along with us. But it's harder to do that without the actual post, the duetting of our TikTok or the Stitch, whichever one you do. It's harder for you to hold yourself accountable. And if you said you wanted to do it, well, do it or don't. But don't ever mention you want to do it again if you're. I don't want to beat anyone up. I understand both sides of it, but what am I going to do here? You can't. This is the only way you can have a contest. You got to officially weigh in twice. So, yeah.
Well, look, I don't mind putting myself out there. You know that. You don't mind putting yourself out there, like you said. And I think, dude,
I'm telling stories about getting catfished by a fucking couple into a swinger relationship last weekend on the podcast with Marco. I definitely don't have a problem talking about all my fucking embarrassing bullshit. But, but yeah, I understand these people aren't, but they're on, but then here's the irony. They're on TikTok. Or they're on social media. They're already they're already kind of putting themselves out there. They're putting a version of themselves out there, though. So whatever. If you want to listen, I don't want to beat people up too bad. But if you want to keep deluding yourself and posting aerial photos where you look your thinnest and you want to fool everyone, okay. If you want to lose some weight, like we're gonna do, weigh in, don't weigh in, follow along. We're doing it. I invite you to do it as well. Well,
it doesn't. You know what? I'm going to say this last thing. It doesn't matter. I'm going to beat everybody.
Well, there is a nice. I think you and I said we'd put a prize package together for anyone that could beat you. And And just, pound for pound. There's no other way to do it. No, we're not going to be like body mass indexing fucking things. It's ridiculous. We're not smart enough for that. Anyways.
No, we would never get the math right.
No,
Never.
So, so if anyone, you're more on TikTok than me. How many, has anyone done it? Has anyone,
So a couple people put their weight. Yeah, okay. I think I saw 2 videos, some duets. Yeah. So.
Okay, cool. I mean, even if it was just you and me, whatever, I would look a little silly inviting people to do it and they didn't, but what are you going to do?
We're used to looking silly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It doesn't really matter. And, I don't think it does.
See, I said, I made the contest so if they beat you, they win the prize pack, but they don't have to beat me to win the prize pack because that's unrealistic.
The problem is everyone's going to probably beat you.
What are you talking about? I'm gonna lap everyone in the field this time.
Okay,
including you.
Here's my thing.
I'll lap everybody.
Here's my thing.
What's your thing?
You, sir. You.
Yeah.
Have posted. On Instagram, on our Instagram page. I see you're kind of like. You posted some food, and I'm like, is he already struggling? Like, because I think you already mentally are in like a bad place.
Well, here's what happened, and it's not what you think. In the last year,
not what you think, he says.
In the last year, since the last competition where you shaved out a pound somewhere, I don't know, you cut a toe off or something, however you cheated to beat me. That I've been thinking of all the mental warfare I can do to you for the next one. And so I'll tip this one off because I got so many more in my back pocket here. But I've got tons of photos that I never posted from food I eat because, we do that. We take pictures of our food. So if I'm posting a picture of 2 pizzas or a bunch of chicken wings or something, it doesn't mean I had them that day, this week, or this month. So I was just, but I got you thinking already. So maybe it gets you to take your foot off the gas, or helps rationalize you for that second chicken breast or something. I don't know, whatever.
Well, I mean, a second chicken breast isn't going to kill me.
No,
it's when your brother calls and says you want to go to the sushi buffet, and you're like, yeah, and then you call me and you go, I can't feel my fingers, I'm dying.
Yeah, but usually I don't do that while we're in a competition. I can't feel my fingers. I will be honest. I have blown him off twice this week for the fucking invite. I haven't told him.
Yeah, because you're afraid.
No, I figure I'll go one day with him and just do the hibachi and just have them cook me. I'll do the hibachi where they cook me a bunch of meat, and then I'll go to and then I'll just get 4 plates of peel and eat shrimp.
I mean, but that's safe. That's a safe bet.
That's what I'm saying.
Not bad. Okay.
I'll keep it within the parameters. I'm not. Listen, there's no way after this last one where I was convinced I had you beat, and then you fucking show up with some like I almost should have demanded video of you weighing yourself because you just phoning in a number to Marco now seems sketch to me. I'm just saying, like, listen.
But you should be used to this.
I feel like in the last year I've learned a lot from our last president, and I just have to
oh, here we go.
Keep accusing everyone of having cheated me, and until it becomes the narrative. I feel like I can, by the end of this competition, everyone will be convinced that I beat you in the last one and got cheated.
Oh, you're so ridiculous.
I am sometimes.
Well, telling stories here, I called you before I was running out of gas.
Yeah. I messaged you and I said, "What time do you want to do this tonight?" And you didn't reply back.
Right.
So, but I saw you had read it, so I sent you the 3 question marks, and then you called.
Yeah, I know the 3 questions. I fucking hate the 3 question marks.
As much as the big thumbs up.
I hate the thumbs up just as much.
Oh, it's good to know all the buttons and where to push them. So I sent the 3 question marks. You called me, and you were starting to spitball numbers out there, and then you go, well, maybe you shifted the number another hour because you're like, I think I'm running out of gas here. So you could tell what happened because I'm curious because you made it home in time to do the podcast.
Well, so okay, so I told you I was running out of gas, and I wasn't. I got a new car, and my old car, the
Oh.
old car would tell you, like it would tell you the gassing. I don't know how
Yeah,
to work it on this
like
new
3 miles left or whatever.
car.
Yeah.
So like I haven't figured out all the gadgets on this one, and it said a thing came on and it said low gas, and I was like, low gas. You got like 50 miles left.
Right.
Well, as I'm driving, I'm sitting in traffic, and now I'm not moving. I'm like, oh shit, this is getting scary. Uh, I clicked the thing, and it said I had 50 miles left. Okay, cool. I had 30 miles left till I was home. Not a big deal. Well, the traffic is like, it's taking forever. Well, all of a sudden, the alarm thing sounds again. This time I go look, it just says low fuel. I'm like, oh, fuck, it doesn't even tell you a number anymore? Like, what the fuck? My last one would go down to 0. I've hit it a couple times.
Right.
So I got nervous. Well, traffic started breaking up. I'm driving, and now my car it's sputter. It's literally going
Yeah.
like, and I'm
So
panicking.
now let me ask you a question. Do you
Yeah.
turn the AC off?
I turned the AC off.
Did
and
you?
was-
Did you also
What?
turn the radio off illogically?
radio? I turned the air off. Wait, and I felt in my head if I opened the windows too much, the air would not let my car go as fast.
But
So now I'm
put more
sweating.
drag and resistance. Okay, yeah.
Right. So I'm starting. It's 75 degrees here today. Now I'm sweating. But I'm also nervous because I'm like, I'm thinking in my head. I'm on the. This is going through my head.
Yeah.
I'm on the highway. If I run out of gas, like, what's my plan of action? I gotta have a plan here. Like, where am I gonna try to get the car to? If I run out of gas in the middle of the road, I'm fucked. There's traffic everywhere. I'm gonna be the asshole. I'm like, if I get up on an exit, what's my plan of action? Like to get to a gas station. I don't know the area I'm in, and I'm trying to plan this all in my head. Well, the traffic is not breaking up, so now I'm really getting nervous. But I see there's an exit coming up, and I don't know this exit. So I said, all right, I'm gonna make it to this exit. I'm gonna get off, and I'm gonna get to a gas station. So I get to the exit. This is the longest fucking exit ramp in the history of exit ramps. It goes all the way down, around, it loops back over. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So now I'm panicking because I don't see a gas station. I'm like, oh shit! I got off on an exit with no gas station. Like now I'm really fucked, right?
Yeah.
I get off on this exit. There's nothing there, so I'm like, if I run out of gas, this is it. This is how I go. I'm gonna get abducted by somebody here, and that's it. But I get off and I see, finally go around a loop, and I go down a little bit, and there's a gas station. So I got to make a U-turn to get to this gas station. Now the car is literally, it's jerking. Like the car, it's like it's taking whatever fumes are left, and it's like it's using them. So I make the U-turn, and I literally cruise into the gas station. I get out, I go to pump, and this homeless guy's walking, and he's staring at me, and I'm like, here we go, we're going to have a fucking problem.
Mm-hmm.
And he's looking at my car, and he's looking at me, he's looking at my car, and he stops. I was like, yeah, what's up? He goes, he's got a garbage bag in his hand, mind you. Looks dirty as hell. And he goes, I have a Chevy Malibu. He goes, does your car take diesel?
Oh no.
And I go, no? He goes, my man, you're at the diesel pump.
Oh.
And I look at it, and it's only diesel. I'm like, oh. He goes, I don't know why the hell they put these pumps like that, but you got to get to the other side. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I start the car. It gives me a little, like it barely starts, and I got over there, and I got gas on the other side. It was such a close call.
Oh,
and
so you got saved by like a dirty angel.
He was a dirty old white man with a garbage bag.
Well,
Yeah.
he
He saved me.
saved you way worse than just running out of gas. Because
Right.
right. Yeah, that would have been bad. Although those new cars, running out of gas on them will fuck them up.
It was a close call today.
Yeah, that's
very close call.
Well,
But
I don't
you
even
know,
know that you learned anything from that. It's not like you figured out how the gauge works or how much time you got or nothing. You got like
nothing.
it just snuck up on you. You didn't even
Yeah.
you couldn't even turn into a learning experience.
No. I've learned nothing today except for don't let it get that low.
Yeah, and don't put diesel in your car.
Right. And when he said it, I looked and I'm like, diesel? Like, I've never seen it where it's just diesel on one side and regular on the other.
Yeah.
Never saw that before. Now, have you ever run out of gas?
Several times. I've also done like I'd say at least 3 times where I coasted in to the fucking pump dead. Like I had just had whatever momentum left in the car took me right to the pump. Like miracle, like that was it. Like I ran out of gas as I was pulling in to the corner the gas station's on, and it just like slowly crept to the pump. Yeah, I've run out of gas several times. I guess not famously, but the most memorable for me is I ran out of gas driving to my brother's wedding in the Keys.
No way! And if anybody knows the Keys, I mean,
there's long stretches where there's
nothing.
Where it used to be 1 lane each way on the bridge, but now there are 2 lanes on each side, which doesn't help you with gas, but it allows you to pass someone that runs out of gas. Yeah, my brother was getting married. It was it was like one of the North Keys. It wasn't like Key West, but it's the Keys. And Jenny was going with me just as she had like, I didn't have a date, and she was like, I've never been to a wedding. So you can come to my brother's. It's like, if nothing else, I know how to appeal to her with just an open bar. So So I said, we'll just go. We'll have fun. Fucking at least you're someone to talk to that I know that I like. Like I don't have to deal with family the whole fucking time. Plus, she's a little intimidating with all the tattoos and stuff, so maybe people would fuck off and leave me alone. So it was a good plan. But
miserable fuck.
Yeah, well, listen, part of my family's fine, and part of my family, not so much. And that's not even talking about her side of the family, which are all just a fuck show. So I was like, I have no interest in meeting any of these people. I'm showing up to do my brotherly obligation, which also included being the best man.
Oh, fuck. Jesus.
So that adds a little tension onto the running out of gas thing, because I'm actually an integral part, because it's not only like I got to show up and give my speech and stand there next to him, but I have to be there early for pictures and shit like that.
Oh my God, this could have been disastrous.
So we're driving, and I had the it's funny, I had the did you ever see the beater Camaro I had for like a year and a half?
No.
Okay, Jenny, this is a funny story too. Jenny had this when I worked with her at the comic book store, she needed a car. She bought with her, a comic book pay, a 1990, I want to say 95 black Camaro. It was cool, except it was just no one had taken care of it. So it was like and whoever owned it before her was a smoker. So the whole thing was yellowed and whatever. I don't think the AC worked, whatever. But it ran, and she had it for a little while, and then she was getting a new car, and I said, I'll buy it from you. And she was like, just give me like $1,500 for it. I think it was something like that. And I'm like, all right. The day before I'm supposed to give her the money for it, she has this whole thing, because she works downtown at the bars and goes down there and drinks sometimes. She had this whole thing with some chick. I think that she was like, I don't remember exactly what happened. I don't even know if this is the same story, but I think I'm combining 2 stories now, but pretend it's one story, where she had a drunk chick and she was like hooking up with her or taking her home or something, and something happened and she jumped out of the car, and I don't remember.
Where is this?
I don't remember any of that part. I just remember that apparently she hit like one of the some cement structure with the front of the car. So she messaged me like the next day, or calls me, and she's like, yeah, I mean, if you still want the car, that's cool. But I hit something with it, and now like the whole front corner, where one of the headlights is smacked up, but the light still works. So she goes, I don't know, you want me to knock like $500 off? And I'm like thinking, well, if the light still works and the car still runs, I just got $500 off a car. I don't give a shit what it
Right.
looks like. Yeah, when I got it, that was the least of the problems. That liner was just rotting away on the roof. It was just rotting away. I just had to pull it all off. But Jenny was such a fucking slob that like nothing made it out of her car. So she spent the whole day before I came to pick it up, like garbage bagging piles of shit out of the car.
Right.
And like, I think one of the footwells in one of the seats, had standing water in it for months and months and months, and had like fucking primordial life growing in it or something. So I literally took it from her house to a professional car wash and had them fucking just give it a full in and out douche. Uh, and then I had the car for a while. Eventually, it died on me, and I got like $250 for one of those services that comes and tows it away.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I mean, it wouldn't start.
Oh, yeah.
It was dead, and I'd already put like $800 in repairs into it. So I was like, there's no. I dump any more. I've now paid more in repairs than I did for the car itself. So fuck it. But so this was the car we took down to the Keys. So
Right.
it ran, but it wasn't the greatest car. And we're getting to down by where the Keys are, where it's it's a long stretch of bridge. There's no off ramps. There's no nothing. You're going over water for like a good chunk of time, like 15, 20 minutes or something until you get to one of the little islands where you can get off, and there might be a store, there might not be.
Right.
And as I'm pulling, but it would happen to also be the stop my brother's thing was at. As I pull off and start heading towards the first light, my car starts shuddering and spitting.
Oh.
And so I'm like, oh, fuck. And I turn and look at her. I go, I think the car's out of gas. And she just like starts laughing because she doesn't give a shit. And I'm like, fuck. And I'm stuck at the red light. And across the intersection on my side, I'm on the right, in the right lane. Across the intersection is a gas station. I catch the red light, but there's no car in front of me. The car's sputtering and shaking.
So you made a decision at that moment.
It finally dies. So I'm waiting for the light to turn green, and I keep trying to start the car. It's not starting.
Right.
So in my fucking best man suit,
Oh, this is great.
and like, of course, I was a fat fuck for that too, at that time period. I literally, when the light turned green, had to hop out of the car and do that thing where you're standing like in the doorway and push and steer at the same time, and push it across the intersection and into the gas station, and then we filled up, and I was like,
Wow.
I was like soaking with sweat, and got a little dirty, and I mean, it could have been way worse. I could have died way back on that fucking bridge, but literally just. And if that light was green, I could have coasted in, but it got red, and I stopped, and then the car was like, all right, we're done. We're done right here. So I was like, can you imagine, like, if I'd been stuck somewhere else? And I guess I had my cell phone. I could have called someone, but could you imagine, like, there's no service where you are either or something? And everyone's like 2 hours later, where's Ben? I don't know. And I've like literally had to walk to either get in the range somewhere or to get to the gas station to walk back with a can of gas or something.
And if anybody's never been down that way, I mean, there are some scary stretches where, I mean, there's nothing.
Yeah, you better have some gas in the tank. So I didn't pay attention when I first headed out. And I forgot that I had driven down there and back the night before for like the rehearsal dinner stuff and whatever else. So I forgot I used a lot of gas. So I was oblivious to the level of gas in the tank.
Right. I'm always I don't ever look.
Yeah. I was oblivious until I got off that that bridge and it started spitting.
I've only ran out of gas one time, ran out of gas. The other times I've coasted in at zero a couple times, but I ran out of gas. I was 19 years old, and I was my ex-wife. We were dating at the time, and we were going to go eat at Pete Rose's restaurant in Boca, which Pete Rose, baseball player, had a restaurant.
Right, off like Glades and Turnpike or something.
Right,
Yeah.
Grades and Turnpike. So I only lived like 3 miles from there. So I didn't have a car. I asked my dad to borrow the minivan, and I went to pick her up. She was about 3 miles the other direction. So we had about 6 miles heading back. First of all, why the fuck would my dad leave a car with no gas in it? That was number one. Like, that, like what an asshole, right?
Well,
He left his car with no gas in it.
kind of like what you do all the time.
Right.
But not to tell you there's no gas in it
He didn't say anything. He
right.
just was like, take the van. And I'm like, okay, I'm not paying attention. I'm 19. I go get her.
Although, in fairness, how many kids did your dad have? 5?
Right.
Who can remember shit?
Right. He probably at that point was like, I hope this asshole runs out of gas. Right. Like,
Probably.
right. So, or that cheap fuck was probably thinking, well, he's going to have to put gas in, so I'll have gas. So we're approaching Pete Rose's. It's about, it's an eye distance. And all of a sudden, the car just stops. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, the car's like, it's not, it just died in the road. So like I kind of like pull off on the side, like where it finally slows down, and Pete Rose is in like like an arm's distance, but I couldn't make it in the parking lot. So I'm like, oh, this is unbelievable. Like this is ridiculous. And like I'm on a date, So that's the worst part.
That's
and
fantastic.
She's like, right,
Yeah.
and she's like, what just happened? I was like, I'm pretty sure we just ran out of gas. So I called my dad and I was like, hey, I ran out of gas. He's like, you idiot. I'm like, oh, I'm the idiot. I was like, you didn't tell me there was no gas in the car. I was like, you got some balls, pal. And he's like, I was like, well, what do I do? He goes, well, I don't have a car. What do you want me to do? Because I have the car.
Right.
And my mom was like at work or something. And he's like, you gotta figure it out. I was like, oh, fuck, figure it out. I don't know what to do. Like, so I'm like, all right, you steer the car, I'll push. She's like, okay. It's a minivan. So I finally got it. I got it going, and I got it into the parking lot. Next door to the Pete Rose's was a gas station. So I got it in the Pete Rose parking lot, just sitting there. And then I walked over, got gas, put it in. And then I was like, we got food or whatever, and it was fine. But what an embarrassing date. I ran out of gas on a date.
That's hilarious.
Did I ever tell you this story? I don't know if I ever told you this. This is how I know I should have never married her. So first of all, we ran out of gas on a date. Did I ever tell you the shitting story? You always got to have a good shitting story on our podcast.
We need a toilet story every now and then just to clear some of the people out of our followers list.
Right. Well, we were dating. This is around the same time, and it was my first time ever going to her house. I went over there and like I had dinner there or something, and met the family. First time ever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all of a sudden there's a rumble in the tummy. I'm like, oh, why does this have to happen now? I'm like, what do? I go home? And we're like kind of watching TV in the living room, and I said, hey, can I use the bathroom? And she's like, yeah, use my sister's. So I go in the sister's bathroom. I turn the fan on. All right, here we go. I go to the bathroom. I do my duty. I go to flush, and it starts rising. I'm like, oh no. Oh, now I'm in panic mode. Like I got, like the panic when it's not your, like if it's my house, it is what it is. You ever do like the dance? Like my feet were, I'm like, oh no, look, I'm dancing like this. No, don't happen. Like,
what are you doing? Like, is this volume of poop, or are you using
volume?
Or are you using too much?
Volume.
Or are you using too much toilet paper?
Volume. So it's rising. It's not stopping.
Jesus Christ.
I'm panicking. Next thing I know, it's overflowing out of the toilet, and my poop is all over this floor of this bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Like the bathroom rug is covered in, and I'm talking, it's not stopping. So I turn the water off because I don't know what to do.
On the wall, right?
Right,
yeah.
Right. I am standing now in like literally the entire floor. There's not an inch of the floor that's not covered in water and shit. And I'm standing there, and I'm like, "Oh my god, what the fuck? What the fuck do I do? What do
You
I do? What
you
do I do? What
crawl
do I
out
do?
the
What do I do?"
window and you never talk to her again. You ghost her.
Well, I didn't know what to do. Uh, she knocked on the door the first time. She's like, "You all right?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I'll be out in a minute." And I'm like, I like, there's no way I can clean this. There's no like, there
This
is
is
literally no solution. Now, let me tell you, there was no window to crawl out of.
this is like the
So
Ben Stiller movie. You remember that one?
right. So now I'm standing there and I'm sweating. I'm nervous. I don't know what to do. So I had a cell phone and I
Called a
I
bomb.
reached out to
Called in a bomb
no
threat.
no I think I texted Eric first.
Oh my
And
god.
I had a flip phone, and I was like, "Hey, I don't know what to do." He's like, "You're fucked." Like he ain't even advice for me. He was like, "I don't know what to do. You're fucked, man. Like this is it. That was the dumbest decision ever. You should have never shit." I was like, "I had to go." So I I'm
So
in there,
you
and like,
literally need to keep a spoon in your back pocket to chop them up before you flush a toilet.
so now I'm like, okay, I like my next step is to call my dad. Like I can call my dad and see if he's got any advice,
He's,
right?
if my kid called me, I wouldn't be hyperventilating, laughing for a good 10 minutes, and as and basically saying the same thing.
Well, I call him,
I'd be like,
and
wipe
he
your feet
goes,
before you come inside
right.
when you get home.
Well, what do you think my dad says when I call him?
I don't know, but I'm sure it was something very unhelpful.
He says, what are you calling me for? You want me to come over there and clean it for you? I was like, oh, you're no fucking use. He's like, good luck, pal. That was the end of the conversation. He hung up on me. We were done. He was like, good luck.
This was
So
tile, right?
tile floor, right?
Okay.
So, but like the little rug when you get out of the tub was
Yeah,
completely
the floor
immersed in
mat. The
water,
floor mat. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So I she
Jesus.
knocks on the door again and she says, "You all right?" And I made the decision to open the door and I
What are
said,
you gonna do? What else can you
I
do?
said, I said, I, okay. I had one thought in my head. My one thought was to open the door, sneak, like just like open it and close it, and act as if nothing happened and hope no one went in that bathroom till I left. Like that was my first thought,
No, are
right?
you? But you're, but you're like you've been standing in poop water with your sneakers, right?
Literally standing in
Could you
water, right?
imagine if it was
Like,
one of those homes where they make you take your feet and shoes off at the door?
right. Thank God they didn't. So I opened the door and I said, I don't even know how to say this to you. I mean, like we just like started dating and like first time at your house, but I definitely just overflowed your toilet. And she's like, "Oh, that's cool. Like, did you plunge it or?" And I said, I don't think you understand the magnitude of what just happened here." I was like, it actually overflowed. Nothing went down. It's all over the floor. She's like, "Oh, wow." Uh, I was like, I don't know what to do. And I'm kind of embarrassed. And like, I really don't want your mom and dad to know I just shit the floor. And so my ex-wife's dad, he is like a comedian. And I was like, I didn't know him at that time yet. And like, I just met him that night. And
Are you saying
she's like,
he's just a funny guy, or was he actually a comedian?
no, he's just a funny guy. He's
Okay,
a
okay, okay.
funny fucker, like a pot smoking funny guy, right. And he used to have a line that said, he said it that day I met him. He said, uh, "I've been smoking weed for 30 years," and I said, "Oh, okay." He goes, "And I'm still not addicted." That was his line forever. Smoking weed for 30 years, I'm still not addicted. That was his line.
Yeah,
So anyway,
that's funny.
I said I'm embarrassed, like I don't know, whatever. And this bitch is like, "Dad." I'm like, no, 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 no. I was like, she's
Because
like,
she
uh,
knows. Yeah. Okay.
and well, her thing was, oh, I don't know what to do. I said, so why would you ask him? We could have figured this out ourselves.
Apparently
And
not.
she's like, he overflowed the toilet and it's on the floor. This asshole, I've never met this guy before in my life. Day one, and he goes, "Oh, he's gonna have to figure it out. I'm not cleaning his shit." All right. I mean, like, right.
Well, that's
So,
fair too. I would listen
right,
if my daughter brought a guy over and he flooded the bathroom.
right,
I'm bringing up a mop, a bucket, some cleaning supplies. I'm handing them to you through the door. I'm telling you to fucking figure that shit out, but it better fucking
right.
be like before you came in there.
Well, so like I was like, okay, and he was like laughing at it. He's like, what a great story this is. I was like, this
Yeah,
is fucking horrible.
it
Like,
is a
this is
great story though.
horrible.
Yeah, he's
Right?
right.
So I don't know what to do. She doesn't know what to do, and she's like, all right, I'm gonna go get some towels. And
Oh.
the bathroom was not very big; it was small. So she got the shop vac and the towels, and uh, she said, "Just go sit down. I got this." I was like, "What?"
Oh.
And she's like, "I got it. Go sit down. I'll clean it." And she cleaned the whole bathroom, the
Wow.
whole thing. So in my head at that moment, I was like, "Oh, she's a winner." You're like, like who would do that? Like this is a good woman. Boy, was I wrong. But she she was like,
The funny thing is she said, "Go sit down." Like,
right.
I would have fucking, I would have
Well,
been so far gone.
here's the thing. At the exit now you have to like pass and go to the couch. Well, her mom or dad were there. I sat there on the couch like with my hands folded and my head down with her mom and dad watching Seinfeld as she cleaned the bathroom. And like a couple times I went to get up and then she's like, no, I got it. And like your dad being the comedian was like, well, that's what I had daughters for, like he was making jokes the whole time. But he was like laying into me for like 30 minutes. Like man, he's like, if this lasts and you marry my daughter, like I can't wait to be at the wedding, on the and I'm like, you
I could tell
motherfucker.
this story.
Right.
Did
Right.
he?
And
Did he?
he did. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and he definitely like I said he's a comedian and I got to so anyway she cleans the shit whatever blah 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 okay embarrassing great when we got married in Boca and we like I was going up like the ceremony's starting and he comes he walks her down the aisle and he leans over to me like the room full of fucking 400 people and he leans over to me and he goes, it'd be great if I told the story now. And I said, and I laughed, right? Like I laughed and then he went to shake my hand and he had this thing where he would like tickle your like your palm of your hand with his thumb or
Yeah,
with his
it's
index finger,
yeah.
right, like giving you the iggy, like and he said that, and I laughed, and then he did that to my hand when he shook my hand, and I did it back, and he goes, "I'll give you 2 minutes to cut that out," and I lost it. I lost it because I was like this. So everybody was like, "What happened up there? What did he say?" I was like, "I'd rather not tell anybody." Well, the ceremony's going on, and he's prancing around the room telling everybody, "Oh, the first day I ever met him, he shit on the floor and overflowed the toilet." It's like my whole family's there, like right, right. Right. And like everybody knows the story now at the wedding. And like and then he's like him and my dad are talking and my dad's like, he called me and I was like, what do you want me? I was like, this is unbelievable. And Eric's at the wedding and Eric's like, he called me too, like right. And I was like, all right, that's it. Now everybody in the wedding knew I shit the fucking floor. So yeah.
Hey man, shit happens.
Oh, it did. And you know what? And you posted the video, or you sent me the video, the YouTube video from when me and the kids were in Tennessee and we
I
flooded
sent
the
you
toilet.
yeah, I watched that
Right,
again. I was when you're talking to the kid and
right,
you're talking about he's going to get a bag to put over his hand so he can
right,
scoop the poop out by his hand.
right.
And you couldn't get the words out and you started laughing. I lost it.
Right. And that guy was so. You've got to go to the YouTube and watch this if you haven't seen it. I don't know where else we can post it. I don't know if we can. Can we post it as on our Instagram?
I
Maybe
can
I'll post it on. I don't even know.
I could share the link on Twitter. I mean, and Facebook. I can just be yeah. I
Because
put it out.
that guy,
I
I had never met someone so enthusiastic about cleaning poop.
So if you want to go to either our Facebook or our Twitter or our YouTube,
Right.
you'll be able to find either a link to it or on YouTube you can watch it. You used to be able on Instagram, like I uploaded the whole Pizza Rumble there once as one
You
of
can
our.
still do it.
You could do long ones. I thought it wasn't letting you do really long ones anymore.
It does. It does let you.
For
You have
like
to hit keep watching. So if you're
no,
it'll
I
only play
understand,
like
but
the
it wouldn't
first.
let me upload them.
Oh, I don't
It
know.
wasn't
I
letting
don't
me
know.
upload long ones. Otherwise,
Okay.
IGTV or whatever they call it.
Right.
I would have uploaded a bunch of our stuff.
Right.
Maybe I'll try
Well,
it again.
all I remember from that night is in Tennessee is the guy saying, like, he made a comment like, I've been doing this, like, cleaning crap for 25 years. I love my job. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, he was so happy to go clean my shit out of the toilet.
He probably
Very happy.
he probably
What are you outside? What are you doing?
no, but I'm by a window. I mean, a motorcycle went by. What do you want from me?
I don't know.
Listen, listen to listen to the podcast with Blake, and then complain about noise never again. Okay?
Yeah. Why? What did he do?
He did his all
Where he's
outside.
walking, right?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Where he was under the bridge, and the fucking the drawbridge went up, and you hear the bell, the clang clang, and he doesn't like move. He doesn't like go somewhere else. And I'm like thinking, like, this is such a train wreck. If he wasn't talking about banging some milf, I would tell him to just
Right.
I gotta go. But it was a good. The quality of the story was good enough that we could deal with the.
We fought through the bell ringing.
We fought through that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Jesus. Well, that's all I got. We're 45 minutes in. This is a long
we're
one.
deep. We're deep.
Right. And I mean, in fitting fashion, like no one who ever listens to the podcast is ever going to want to date me or like anything because I seem like a disgusting human, but we've got to end it because all this poop talk, I got to go. I got to go. I literally got to go. I'm prairie dogging.
I haven't gone in like 3 days with this diet, so.
Right. This is the first time in 3 days. I've got to take this opportunity.
All right. Well, never let a window pass. You know.
Right, and I make sure I don't clog the toilet.
Yeah. Well, that's a 50-50.
I clogged Nick's 3 days ago, and I had to buy a snake. I had to buy some Drano. It was a fucking.
You cleaned
production.
it? You didn't make him do it?
It was a production.
Oh my god!
You don't even want to know. It was a production.
We might need a follow up on that.
Right. All right.
I can hear the echo. I can hear you in the background.
Yeah, I entered the dome.
So we ended. We started last podcast with the end of a poop. We're ending this one with the beginning of a poop. It's the circle of life here.
Oh God! Goodbye.
All right, Simba. Talk to you later. Bye.
Goodbye.